Get her done. Welcome back, listeners, or if you are new, welcome to the Digital Divide podcast. I am Justin Fry.
And I am Joshua Charletto.
This is episode 28, so let's cut to the chase. All right. Wonderful week we've had, Josh. Lots of news. Lots of fun news.
Lots of interesting things going on.
Yes. But nobody cares about that because it's already about news time, so it doesn't matter. Can I talk first? Because I'm already doing it. Obviously.
Yeah, no, I'd love for you to keep talking first.
Off to a great start. So I don't know how many people know this, but I'm a huge NASA buff nerd loser extraordinaire. So I have been closely following if nobody knows this, but I've been closely following the recent Mars lander InSight. It was launched in May of this year and then landed just a few weeks ago, actually on November 26th of this year. So it had a few months of flight to Mars, and it's a lander, so it's not a rover like what we already currently have there, but it's launched and it landed in Mars and is supposed to be taking some soil samples, but as well digging even deeper to get some data, temperature data, and so forth. So it's a big deal. But the biggest deal is that it took its first selfie, and it looks beautiful. I get goosebumps looking at this picture because it just fascinates me, thinking that this device, millions of miles away, sent us a selfie, and look how clear and amazing the picture looks. And just to think that there's literally a device sitting on a different planet and it's taking pictures. It's all alone out there with the rover, and it's just it blows my mind. But anyways, it's really cool. There's an article I attached in the show notes. It's about how people are being fascinated about the selfie, but it's more the fact that we, as the human race, have accomplished something so great and fascinating. And I hope we get farther and we start putting more people on the moon and start doing more things with the moon. But it's just so cool. I get goosebumps thinking about stuff like this, even if it's silly. So it's pretty cool. And there's also a show note or a link in the show notes for the NASA page for the Mars InSight lander. They also have a Twitter, so if you ever want to follow the Twitter, it will have some updates, usually pictures. And actually, they just recorded, I think, the first Mars audio recording, and it's just a bunch of wind noise, but it's still cool.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
Yes, exactly.
I'm with you. I get into this stuff for sure, obviously being a sci-fi nerd.
Yeah.
And yeah, having a robot on another planet that we're controlling is just so cool. And I'm hoping that they get some interesting finds and data from this whole endeavor. So yeah, it's really neat and continues the long streak of NASA pictures that they have on their website that are just gorgeous. So yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm. So, if anybody needs ideas, I'm looking for Legos that are like the InSight lander. So, just hint. Anyways, Josh, what do you got?
So kind of a holiday bah humbug type situation. We've all heard of this, where certain packages will get dropped off at the house, and then people will drive up and steal them.
Yes.
So Amazon is actually working with, I'm not sure if it's a third party or if it's law enforcement, but they are doing sting operations now, where they are putting Amazon boxes on doorsteps that are empty and then catching thieves. I've attached the article and it's pretty funny. So a big part of this, though, these days is the doorbell cameras.
Yes.
And how much those cameras are catching and seeing. And so having cameras, who knew, pointed at the place where the thief is going to steal what they're stealing. Imagine they get caught. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I find it's pretty crazy that they're taking that step.
Yeah. There's I wonder how you could get somebody to, or how you couldn't actually have grounds to arrest somebody, because technically they're just stealing. They're like taking a box, but there's nothing in it. It makes it a little shady. There must be a way of wording it that they can still arrest these people because they're taking something that's not theirs, especially if it's empty. I just feel like there's some sort of loophole that somebody can use against the whoever, if it's the police or if it's Amazon or whoever it is. But I still think it's great. And you just said the Ring. You didn't mention it, but the Ring cameras are fantastic, and I think that in situations for people who have live in areas where it's an issue or they've had it happen in the past, those things are amazing. Even if at the time being you can't catch them right at the get go, you have a video recording of the individual stealing the box, and makes it a little bit easier for catching the thief. So
Yeah, totally. I think the grounds come in where technically, and I don't know for sure. I'm no lawyer and I don't give legal advice, of course.
no, of course not. Please don't take legal advice, please.
Right. With that said, you are trespassing. So regardless of what you do or don't do with an empty package, you're on somebody else's property. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Interesting. Well, hopefully this season nobody has that happen to anybody or happens to them. And it's unfortunate if it does, but
yeah.
I am lucky enough to say that it has never happened to me, so I don't have to ever worry about that.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. All right, cool. So with that being said, I have some follow up. We're in our follow up corner, if we want to call it that.
It's a corner now. Awesome.
I have no
I like
idea.
corners.
Really? Is that a good thing? I don't know.
know.
Anyways, after our discussion we had about the consoles, I actually started up my PlayStation 2, and it still works, by the way. It still has a loud fan that just blows for a very long time as it's booting up. And it's amazing how slow it boots up.
Yeah.
And to think that it was fast at the time being. But the only problem is the two controllers that I have do not work, and they're not even PlayStation controllers because those already broke before I even store this away. These are like these old, I think they're called Mad Cats.
Oh man, those things were terrible.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's just as terrible. So it's unfortunate I can't even play this the one game I have left of my PlayStation 2, which I bet you can guess what it is.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't even have the first one.
It took way too long, Josh. What is wrong with you?
I think I might have like Call of Duty Big Red 1 somewhere. I have no idea, but I think I got rid of all of them. So it's a shame. I don't plan on picking up any of those games because, let's be honest, I don't think I would want to play them anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just cool the fact that I have a piece of my past still functioning besides this iPod Classic or iPod Video that's sitting next to me. So, yeah, it was kind of cool to see that start up, but I'm really glad that I picked up the Switch right after that and went, wow, this is fascinating, the amount of technology difference between these two.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to let the world know.
Well, kudos to you for keeping an old system still working. I have a Super Nintendo that's still packed away, and I pulled it out, and it doesn't even power on anymore.
Oh, that's so depressing.
And then I have an N64 that powers on but doesn't display anything. So I kept some of my favorite stuff, and it doesn't work anymore. With that said, if I can drum up the courage to crack the case open on both of those, I might try and fix them myself.
I was gonna say I would be more than welcome to help you. Well, more than happy to help you if you needed to. I'm pretty good with a soldering tool, so if we have to
maybe
resolder something,
that'd be helpful.
I would like to try and get that working.
Yeah, I would like to do the same because I actually have quite a few games still packed away for both. So, yeah, it'd be fun to have that set up and let the kids play that stuff.
Don't you have a Raspberry Pi that does all that emulating?
I do. It's not great for the N64.
Yeah.
It's like hit and miss with some of the games, and I can't tell if it's the actual ROMs themselves or the emulator, or if it's just not powerful enough for some of those games, which is my hunch.
Yeah.
So having the actual console packed away and the actual games packed away, I'd like to potentially get that working again.
Yeah, makes sense. But I had the same problem when I had my Pi and was using the emulation station. Wow, bleh. It was hit or miss using the different emulators for N64, and at the time, I just gave up. It just wasn't worth. And like going through all the settings, I didn't feel worth it or feel like it was worth it.
Yeah. For Super Nintendo and Nintendo, it works great. I really enjoy it for that part of it, but N64 is really hit and miss.
Yeah. Did you have any follow up?
No, I am follow up free.
Follow up free. Well,
I'm just in the follow up corner to watch, basically.
Okay. I don't know if I really like that follow up corner. That sounds bad. I'm gonna stop calling it follow up corner.
Follow up corner is fine.
But we're gonna move to the topic because this is interesting. This is something you had proposed, and I'm curious how it's going to go. I wish there was a way for us to somehow score this and make.
Of course you would,
because I would like to say that I did a better job. but we're gonna kind of take it as is. Would you like to explain what we're about to do?
Yeah, so I figured it being the holidays / Christmas / some holiday that you maybe celebrate that isn't Christmas. I don't know if you do. You guys do Kwanzaa? Is that your thing?
No, I said Christmas Kwanzaa.
Exactly. Regardless, hopefully you're giving gifts this year, and I know we are. So I thought we could go back and forth and take turns and do a Christmas gift draft or holiday gift draft to be politically correct.
Oh my.
So the rules are pretty simple because they're not really rules per se. We just go back and forth and draft. That is to say, we point out a Christmas gift we think would be good and why, and talk about it a little bit. And hopefully there are a lot of crossover gifts where I can get upset when you take mine, and you can get upset when I take yours.
Yes.
And then we just repeat back and forth. I figure we'll run out of time at some point, and then we could just do like a lightning round of the last few if we're interested, or we can just end it. We'll figure it out then.
Cool. I like it, and I'm hoping that I have things that you do not have, mainly because I have a good feeling there are at least a few that I have that you would have never thought to guess, or at least I hope, but we'll see.
Well, it goes both ways. I'm hoping for the same.
Yeah. You're just too nice to say it. Well, I think it's only fair, since you would propose the idea, that you go first. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, I love it.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I also figure that when we put them in the show notes, we can include the links to wherever we think you can find them to purchase. Pretty much all of mine, I'm looking through my list, have Amazon links with a few exceptions because they're self-explanatory, but we should probably still include the links for them regardless.
Yeah, I got my links already, so we're good.
Oh, perfect. So starting off, I'm going to pick the super obvious one that it's a little bit selfish because it's kind of something that I would love to get for Christmas, but also I think that everybody could benefit from these. I'm going to choose AirPods first.
Oh my God, I did not pick that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I thought that would have been the crossover.
Nope. Surprisingly not.
So I say what I say about everybody probably wanting a pair, and yet I know that's not true, for one. And two, there are people out there that don't have Apple devices. I don't actually know if they work with non-Apple devices. I don't think you can pair them.
I don't even know. First of all, if you're getting them and you don't have Apple devices, you're ruining the whole point of it being like, it just doesn't make sense. The integration with it already is amazing when Erin got hers, but I'll explain that later.
Yeah, you're ruining the motif if you have a Samsung phone and AirPods.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, the AirPods, I don't own a pair, but they are really cool. I've seen them in action. I've seen them paired. You basically bust it open. It has a charging case that the two wireless headphones sit in to charge. So when you take them out, you pop the top, kind of like an old cigarette case almost. And then you pull them out and put them in your ear and they turn on, and it's all automatic. When you pair them, you do so by flipping up the lid on the case, which is pretty cool.
It's
So,
addicting, apparently, and as my wife would like to also say, it is. And be careful because you might ruin the hinge by doing it constantly. So
oh, interesting. Good to
yes.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that just a tangent for a second, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that these are the most Apple-y Apple products
Oh
in
yeah.
the longest run, basically, or the longest time right now. Like it's been a while since we've seen Apple-y products. I don't know how else to say it.
It's just it's well, they cost more.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that they don't. I think they're priced just right, actually.
Okay, when I guess the way you're trying to say is that it integrates perfectly with Apple, and what it does is it actually does work with other devices. It has Bluetooth. I mean, obviously, it should be able to work with any other device, your phone wise, that has Bluetooth. But it's just the fact that it makes it a little harder to actually integrate them. Where if you had an iPhone and you open up the thing for the first time, it literally and you press the button on the back or wherever it is, it just syncs instantly. It's not even you don't have to try.
Yeah, there's like nothing to it to get it to work, and
Right.
apparently the function on them is fantastic. They just work. They're really great to use, so on and so on. So anyway, they are a bit more expensive. They're $150. I know that's a lot of money for a Christmas gift, but perhaps you have somebody in your life that you really care about,
Yeah.
and that makes a lot of sense for that amount of money. And so I think they're a great Christmas gift. So that's my first one.
I agree. And my only comment I would say is that we got them for my wife, not for Christmas, but through other means. And uh, upon opening them up and immediately syncing them, she has not put them down. I was afraid that they were going to be loose and move around when she worked out or in just general movement, but they haven't. But she's been using them so much to the point where she'll, with her long hair, have them in her ears, and I will be talking to her, not realizing she's not listening to me. So she's talking to her mom or something like that. And it's pretty amazing, and I got to listen to them myself, and I thought they were going to be lesser quality in the sense of music sound or the actual sound of the headphones, but they
Yeah.
were pretty impressive. I was pretty shocked, and I kind of want one now too, but I think I'm gonna wait. They're still higher than my price range.
Yeah, I'm scared to potentially buy a pair because I know that they'll just end up in my ears all the time. Like just
Oh yeah,
randomly, I'll be doing things and I'll be listening to podcasts all the time. So,
there's nothing wrong with that. All right.
all right, it's your turn.
Yes, it is my turn. So something that I think would be great, and I'm gonna play towards the geeks and nerds right now, but something that I've seen happening frequently. Or there's a lot of subscriptions out there right now, and more specifically, like box subscriptions. Do you see where I'm going with this? No, box subscriptions, as in like a collective group of companies put a bunch of random products in these boxes and send them to people, and you pay a monthly subscription to them.
Like
Well,
Loot Crate?
like Loot Crate. So Loot Crate is actually what I'm suggesting to those.
Ooh.
And what's really cool about it is that there's two different paths, or several different paths you can take. One, there's the monthly subscription one, and each month they have a theme, and they announce it on their website, and you receive this Loot Crate. And now the Loot Crates basically come with a variety of items. They come with T-shirts. They come with like figurines, little basically knickknacks, and they come in this box for a monthly subscription. Or if you're really wanting to just buying a specific crate, you can actually pick a crate and buy it. But what's really cool about these things is that they're completely random. Completely random as in you won't know what you're about to get unless people have posted what they've unboxed and what have you. I think it's for the themed ones every month, it's the same thing that everybody else gets. It might be randomized too as well, but it's really cool because you don't know what to expect. Sometimes you'll get things that you're really excited about. Sometimes you'll get things you never thought you wanted. But it's relatively inexpensive. And I say that, of course, as it's $15 a month, but you can buy these things, and they have a great discount right now. And it's continuing, I think, throughout the rest of the year, where they have a 35% off sale for with using one of their codes, which basically makes it $7. So I think it's a great idea for those nerds out there, or maybe you have a son that's a huge gamer or a daughter that's a huge gamer. Pick this thing up, and it has all sorts of themes out there, and I'm sure they will enjoy whatever comes in it, even if it's kind of lame. So I've wanted one of these all my life, ever since I started doing it, but I can never pull the trigger because I feel like I just keep subscribing and building an entire closet full of this. So
Yeah, that's a really good one, Justin. That's a really good one. I didn't even think of that. And do you know, can you, as like a gift, could you like pay for the entire year up front and then, you know, give it to somebody, or how does that work?
I think you can.
Because I think that would be personally, I think that would be the better way to do it rather than, well, I mean, I guess if you really want to purchase Loot Crate and have it bill you for somebody else every month.
Yeah, you can. So you can select. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it?
It's expensive still if you do pay for the whole month, but the 35% coupon probably brings it down a whole lot to more of like the higher hundreds. So if like you're buying a gift for somebody and this is one of the things that they want, and maybe it's like the only thing that they're really looking for, you can really pay under $200 and get 12 months of over $50 of items in this package. I think it's actually $75 that they that they say is on average how much is in the actual box. So I honestly think it's a good idea, especially for people who just want to start collecting things. So I'm sure they'll find something they like.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I didn't think of that.
Ha.
And I've always been jealous of the cool knickknacks and various geek items that come in these crates. So that's a good one.
I have several times contemplated asking for it, or at least like getting a month for free or a month from a family member. And every single time I go, this is going to end up with me sitting with a whole bunch of boxes with a bunch of things all over my house, and my wife will kill me because I'll just start accumulating it and going, but I don't want to throw it away. It's cool. And the shirts I'll probably only wear around my house because I don't know, but it's really cool, and I wish I was 20 years younger. I would totally want this.
Nice.
All right.
That's a good one.
You are up, sir.
I'm going to switch gears. I did kind of a high-end product and, you know, an actual Christmas gift that you would give as one gift probably to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go the opposite direction into a little bit less expensive rather. And I'm going to go with something called a cable yo-yo.
Oh, what? Cable yo-yo.
Yeah, so I put the link in the show notes, and it's on Amazon. But the idea, and there's several different kinds of these kinds of things, but this is the one I think looks pretty cool. The idea is it's this like circular disc that you wrap your headphones in, or like a cable in. And then you put the headphones in the middle, and it keeps them wrapped up, so you can just throw them in your bag or whatever.
Oh.
I'm always finding my headphones like tangled or like messed up in my bag or whatever, and you know it's like $10 for this thing.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It's kind of like a neat little stocking stuffer rather, or something you get for like a white elephant gift, or something for kids. I don't know, because kids are always using their headphones all the time now. So just a neat little like $10 item. And this was the one that I liked the most on Amazon. I was trying to look at a few of these, and you can get any of them. They're all over the place, and they range from like simple ties that go around the cables to something like this where you wrap your headphones around it. So take a look at that. It's in the show notes.
Interesting. I think some of them too. I'm looking at one called Blue Lounge by Blue Lounge Cable Yo-Yo. Anyways,
yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. Because you don't have to technically use like your headphones. It's good for cable management for maybe if you have your phone connected to your laptop, which I think you said that, did you?
I don't remember.
Okay, well now you did. But I
sure
think it makes sense, and they're kind of cool looking.
This one, that's why I picked this one, because there's several of them, obviously, and some of them look better than others. This one looks pretty good. and is pretty straightforward to use, it looks like, and
Mm-hmm.
effective. So it kind of ticks
Nice.
all the boxes, and it's only $10. So a
$10 is not bad.
decent gift.
Nice. I won't be picking up one of these, but that's a good idea. I
Of
just I
course, if you
don't.
have AirPods, you won't need one. So, you know.
There are always going to be wires, Josh. Always. Okay, so I have a weird one. I guess I shouldn't say weird one. It is something that I've noticed a lot of people are starting to go through this phase where they need, what's the word I'm looking for? They need to still ground themselves. And what I mean by that is they need to ground themselves with technology. So they want to maybe step away from using their iPhone or their iPad all the time and want to have something with them that's a little bit smaller that one could possibly write on and maybe take some notes, possibly little blurbs or reminders for yourself to look at later when you get home and like, what do I have to do today?
Okay.
And so, what I'm recommending for a very cheap price, starting at $10 as well, you can get a 3-pack of these things called Field Notes.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I think this appeals to pretty much anybody. It can appeal to somebody who wants to use this for, say, taking notes during meetings at work, or maybe they want to have this to carry around simply in their bag, or maybe in their pocket, or if you have a pocket, like a shirt with a pocket, you can keep these in your pocket as well. But you can take quick notes, reminders, things right off the top of your head so you don't forget it. Some might say, Justin, you have an iPhone for that, or maybe you have a phone for that. Some people don't like using their phones to set reminders, and sometimes it's easier for them to write it down right away and then remember and look at it later. So this company, Field Notes, and I'll add the link in the show notes. My gosh, you'll be able to buy them either off Amazon or the website themselves, and you can start it off with just buying the 3-pack of just the plain grid paper. They have ruled paper. They have dots for graph paper. So it's really cool. They have a subscription service, of course. Now everybody does, but they have that as well. And they also have themed Field Notes packs, which are really cool because they'll have, and this I think this month or this quarter is it's a cryptography one. So
Nice.
which is fantastic and cool and super awesome. But they also have like a NASA related ones. They have themes and they just kind of cycle them through. So they appeal to a lot of other people, a lot of interests. They have and come with some of their own kind of goodies themselves. The recent one comes with like cryptology. They have like a code breaker, little I don't know. I guess it's called code breaker, little circle thingamajiggy. I don't know what to call it. And I think it'd be cool because if I was, 20 years older and I had a son or a daughter, I would probably write secret notes to them and have them decrypted. I think that'd be pretty cool. But
yeah, that is fun.
$10 a month, or sorry, $10 for the 3-pack, and you can do a subscription if you want to. But pretty cool, really small and easy to stick in a stocking. So.
Yeah, that's another great idea for a gift. I like that one. I've actually used quite a few of those little notebooks. I've used their competitor as well quite a bit. But having that on hand and it's easy to stick in your pocket,
Right,
and just jot whatever you want down is pretty cool. That's a cool gift to give.
it's not something you don't have to get this specific one, like you just said. There's a competitor out there. You can go to Target or any other store and pick up these things, not specifically Field Notes branded, but something like that. You'd be surprised. People are always looking for that little easy notebook to write things down just as a reminder. So
Yeah, totally. I like the Field Notes brand as like the gift because I think the competitor is at Moleskine.
Ooh, yes, Moleskine.
Or some people just say Moleskine.
Yes. There's also what was the other one? I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, but they have different materials, and I feel that the Field Notes is kind of the more general purpose for more people. Like fits more people. The Moleskine ones are more very specific, I would say. They use a different type of material, so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
good one.
All right. Thank you. Your turn, sir.
I'm going to kind of go mid-range here, mostly because I don't know. I didn't find a link that I liked for this in particular, so I don't know the price offhand
Oh, how
for
could
it
you?
or which model.
Ooh.
But something that's been going on a lot, and I keep hearing about at work or various family members talk about, is using an Instapot.
Oh my God, genius! Yes.
Yeah. And again, it's a little bit higher on the price range. I think they're like $100 or so for like the smaller ones.
Yeah.
And Instapot is like the brand, right? So like the same way Kleenex is to tissue,
Yeah. Exactly.
Instapot is to pressure cookers. But
Yeah.
it seems to be the one that most people are buying and talking about because it's
It's just
pressure
works.
cookers have been around a while, but Instapot kind of pioneered the electronic based pressure cookers.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff I'm hearing people make at home is both heartwarming that people are actually making food at home and then also just really cool ideas. Somebody at work was talking about using it to make yogurt, and a bunch of people at work use it to make soup all the time.
Yogurt. Hold on. That's disgusting. I don't. How does that even? It's a cooker. How? What?
I don't know. I just work here. I don't know.
Anyways,
but they use it for various things. And all the recipes seem to take very little time to cook, which I think is the huge draw to this thing. So somebody else told me they got a big one and then they could stick a whole chicken in and in 8 minutes have fall off the bone chicken, like roast chicken. So that's pretty amazing for 8 minutes. That's pretty amazing. So I understand that there's probably some, shall we say, concerns with maybe safety, that you want to make sure you're doing it right all the time.
Yes, cooking things thoroughly.
Yeah, well, but also like because it's a pressure cooker, you got to make sure that you don't puncture it / you put the lid on correctly, whatever. But with that said, I think they're pretty safe, and it's a huge fad right now. So I think that's a really good gift.
Yes, I don't think we would ever. I know my wife and I probably would never do this. Have a pressure cooker / Instapot, but everybody raves about them and and how making fries and barbecue and all sorts of fun stuff is so easy. So not too bad. Definitely on the high end, of course, but with anything of this nature, you want it to be a little bit more of quality because you're eating the food that it's producing. So that's I think I could understand the higher price.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Which one should I choose? I think I'm going to choose something that is a little safe. It's again on the lower side, as in price wise, but a lot with everything being smart now. Being smart meaning you can have smart connected devices.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, I want to make sure I clarified that. That would have been bad. I feel as though people get a little concerned / confused that they always need to buy these expensive products to get their lights to work. Like I need to spend $50 plus to get into the world of having lights to turn on and off with my voice, or maybe through a phone in my app, or an app through my phone. Backwards. However, that's not the case. That is why I'm suggesting that an easy gift, maybe a stocking stuffer, is that you can get these Wi-Fi smart plugs, which are getting cheaper and cheaper nowadays. They used to be a little bit expensive, but now you can even pick up a pack of 2, which I'll show in a link in the show notes, for only $18, which is really cool because they come with their own app. You plug them into an outlet, and anything you plug into that outlet now becomes a smart device. So you can turn your old, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something you'd want to...
Anything, lamp, an old lamp.
An old lamp. I'm trying to think of something less generic. Maybe you want to turn on your... I wouldn't recommend this, but your washer and dryer. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? But it'll basically turn something that is not a smart device into a smart device easily by literally plugging it into the wall, having that plugged into this outlet, and then connecting in your phone. I can't think of a better way to get into the smart life. Smart life? Coin that, by the way.
I like
Smart
it.
life.
I
By
accept.
buying one of these things. So I plan on hopefully buying them myself eventually. But when I saw the price for these things, I was surprised at how cheap they were getting. So I bet you can find a cheaper one too. So I will
That's a good
post
idea.
that.
Being able to take older devices and older outlets and make them smart aware. I don't. That's a terrible way to say it, but at least on your home smart
Yeah,
automation.
exactly. It's like I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
You're adding it to your I don't know, your smart home devices, list of
Yeah.
smart home devices, or even if you don't want to go any crazier and buying all these hubs that you have to use to help you connect the other devices, you just use this, and you have less to worry about, and you don't have to buy a Philips Hue lights, the 4-pack or 2-pack that's like $60, and you like break the bank just trying to buy lights for your one room. So
Yeah, all that stuff has come a long way in the last, I don't know, 2-3 years. So that's pretty exciting.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's one of them. I think you got one for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit out there,
Oh boy.
and I'm going to, well, not out there, but again, I'm kind of going in the good for somebody to give like a white elephant gift, or as a small stocking stuffer or something of that nature, kind of on the low end again.
Yeah.
This is $7. It's called the Gerber Shard keychain tool.
Huh.
So it's cool because there's no knife involved, so it's a multi tool without a knife, but it gives you a lot of options. Like you can pry things with it, you can open a beer.
Nice.
It's just a multi tool, and it's like $7.
Whoa.
And it's just a piece of metal basically, which is cool. But it's like a really well made piece of metal.
Yeah, it's Gerber. I mean, they
Yeah.
have one of the best knives built. I mean, iconic knives out there, and they're super sturdy and strong. And I mean, they're military grade. So
Yep. Yeah. So it's a pry bar, a smart. Oh my gosh.
that thing
Let's
is
try that
tiny.
again, Joshua.
It's not
It's
a
a
smart
pry
shard.
bar, a small flathead screwdriver, a wire stripper, a flathead driver, bottle opener, lanyard hole, and a cross driver. So it's a bunch of different things put
What in
together.
the world?
And it's just something you could keep on your keychain if you wanted, which is kind of cool.
That is fascinating. I've never seen that before, and it looks if when you get a chance to look at the link and the picture of the item, it looks funky. It looks like a I don't even know, but it almost looks very dangerous too. Like you could actually defend yourself with it because it's got enough pointy spots. Slash, it looks pretty uh, heavy duty. Just even how small it is. So wow,
Yeah.
how'd you come across this?
I don't know. I saw it on the wire cutter, actually, I believe, is where I
Nice,
saw it. I was
nice.
just I was looking at some of the reviews for cases for an iPad, and I just happened
You
across it, and I
came
was like, "Wow, this is kind of cool."
That's concerning. You could scratch your iPod or iPad screen with this this heavy duty keychain tool.
Yeah. Well, it's fun
Interesting.
because it's Gerber and it's still a multi-tool, but you're not giving somebody a knife. And I feel like a lot of people are concerned with giving
Yeah,
kids knives at Christmas.
it's a PC item.
Yeah, yeah, PC item exactly.
Nice. I think there's a for the price that's not that bad, and it's got a multi-tool purpose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I want to. I guess I'll pick this one. So this is kind of a gimmicky thing, kind of an interesting thing.
Oh boy.
I've never seen it before. I came across this watching some of the people I subscribe to on YouTube and as well as for my podcasts. But let me just explain it a little bit. What it is, it's a rollable wireless keyboard and speaker all in one device.
What?
Yes. So I'm going to send this to you because I realized I didn't put in the notes. But so what this is, it's a keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard that rolls down into it gives you all the commands and the keys that you need. It doesn't have a numpad. It's a little smaller, obviously, but it rolls into a tube for transport. But it also has speakers built into the base of it, and supposedly they're very good. Like the sound that
Weird.
comes out of it, it's super weird. And this might be a good idea for your iPad. But they're $50. They also have a folding style, which isn't as cool looking. But this might be something cool for somebody who has an iPad or a device. Maybe it's another Samsung tablet of some sort. But if you have somebody in the family that's been looking for something easily portable, something that's really easy to travel with, going through checks and whatnot, this is really easy to carry around. It's portable in the sense that it's really easy to pack into a backpack, and the price is pretty good, and it's a full keyboard and a speaker system. So if you needed speakers that were a little louder than your onboard iPad speakers, you could just Bluetooth connect these things and boom, you got yourself a keyboard and a speaker. So
That's actually really neat.
Yeah.
It's like a shade style.
yeah,
You pull down.
it is weird. At first, I thought no one's going to want to buy this, but then I showed it to somebody at work who's not a tech person, in the sense that, like, as they're not into techie kind of things.
They don't nerd out about it.
They don't nerd out about it, and they were pretty impressed with them. Like, wow, that's actually a good idea. I've been looking for a product for so and so. Like, well, there you go. So I was
Nice.
surprised by that because I was expecting this to be a silly thing, but it turned out that people actually thought it was interesting. So.
I've seen their foldable keyboard before, which had a decent amount of reviews on websites that it was pretty decent. So interesting that they made this roll-up style.
Yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, this can't be true. This has to be some joke. But no, it's actually pretty cool. It's like I think of like all those movies with the fake hackers that roll out that little like silicone keyboard.
Yeah.
They just like throw it. They're like, oh, I'm gonna do all this hacking. Kind of looks like that, but reminds me of that. But it just has way more functionality out of it. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to kind of shift gears. So I like that. And I did kind of a lower end one. So I'm actually going to go with something we've mentioned earlier in the podcast.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend, again, a little bit higher end. I guess I'm going higher end on most of these on my list. I didn't realize it until after I had already compiled the list. But anyway, I would recommend purchasing a Ring doorbell as a really big Christmas present for somebody.
Ooh, yes. But what one, sir? There are several.
I think, and there's no bias involved in this at all, but I think the Pro.
Why would you say that? Well, first of all, explain it a little bit, but then why would you say the Pro?
Yeah, so they have several models. And actually, I don't know much about the Ring 2, if it's not as good. Here, let me look it up real quick. So I still think the Pro. So they have the Ring, the Ring 2, and then the Ring Pro.
Right.
I still think the Pro, because the main difference the Pro gives you is a little bit better video quality, which doesn't matter. That's not a big deal. But I think the ability to set the motion areas on the picture, so like you can literally go in there and draw like polygon shapes on the picture of the camera to where you want motion to be sensed. So like if motion hits that polygon shape area, it will give you an alert, which gives you a bit more granularity on when you'll get alerts, rather than, I think, the regular Ring and the Ring 2, they do it by proximity in like a cone shape around it, and you just get to click on which section of the cone shape that you want. It doesn't even do it per, like you don't get to see the picture and then select where in the cone shape. You're just looking down and say, okay, I only want to get alerts when it's closest to the Ring, or I would like it to give me alerts far out. So it's like a proximity thing, rather than the Pro lets you draw shapes on the actual video feed to say, I would like it if somebody walks through my grass to give me an alert, but not the sidewalk. You know, you can get really granular with it. So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest difference. The one thing to consider is that the Ring doorbell, the normal one and the Ring 2, have the ability to be hardwired and battery operated, whereas the Pro is only hardwired. So you need to have some kind of power going to it. With that said, I think most doorbells have some power going through
Yeah,
to
they
actually
should.
work. So it shouldn't be a problem as long as you feel confident enough with your ability with wires.
Yeah, and I will say that I have the Ring, so that's the lower end one, which still works perfectly fine for me
Yep.
if you're looking for a less costly, I should say. But the problem for me is that the wiring, I had full wiring, but the problem was the location where that wiring was. I couldn't actually fit the Ring on. It was it just was too small of an area, so I
Yeah, I
had to
think that's
actually.
pretty common.
So I had to actually end up using uh, placing the Ring somewhere else, and I still have my other doorbell active, and I just have it based off a battery, which has a really long battery life. It's been plugged or not charged, fully charged for about 2 months, and it's almost at half. So, yeah,
That's good to hear.
that's a good one.
Just to give you some kind of comparison,
Yeah,
the Ring Doorbell Pro. Okay, I should back up. So the idea of this thing is that it replaces your doorbell, and you press the button, and not only does it record video of what's happening, but you also can answer from your phone or other, device. Like you could do it on your iPad if you really wanted to.
yeah,
So it kind of gives you alerts for your doorbell being rung instead of just hearing a chime through your house, and then you can answer from your phone, which is pretty neat. Um, so the Ring Pro is $249 normally. You can find them on sale. Um, but the Doorbell and Doorbell 2 I think hover around 200 or 170 depending.
right.
So, I mean, both of those are very expensive, I realize, but it depends. I mean, if you're looking for a big gift to give to like a family, I think that would be a good one.
I agree, and it's an easy way to get into the smart app or smart device lifestyle to get
Yes.
something like this because it actually provides immediate benefit to you, where you have more security in your house, because it doesn't just act as something to monitor your packages or to see who's passing by your house, but you can actually see for whatever reason if someone's that stupid trying to break into your house or somebody trying to sneakily walk around the front of your house. So Ring provides other devices too as well, but this is probably one of the higher selling ones, and I would say that that is a good pickup, especially with the rebates that sometimes you might get for them, and with the deals still going on throughout the holidays. So
Yeah, with how well it works, it makes me want to get either some of their products or find some cheapo cameras to put on the corners of my house to
yeah,
kind of get motion that way too.
yeah,
Because my doorbell doesn't face the front of the house, it faces the side.
yeah,
So you can see the part of the front yard in the Ring, which is nice for when the water guy walks through my yard, once a
yeah.
month.
So you can see them getting your reading your meter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I can't see the front of my house, and I'd like to have that. So, you know, it's just money, right?
it's just money. They have a cool floodlight that I was looking at the other day for a nice $250. But
Nice.
I think that would be kind of cool. They look nice, but I think certain people don't like the appeal of having something like that in front of your garage. Might kind of turn them off. So, but yeah, good idea. I'm glad I picked one up, and I hope other people get them.
Yep.
All right, I have another cheap one. I guess I'm looking at like more stocking stuffers, but something that has become a trend lately is in the minimalistic lifestyle that people are moving towards. I don't know if it's our generation. I don't know if that's just kind of something that's been always going on. But there are several, and I didn't specifically pick out one brand, but there are on Amazon or anywhere else, you can buy these collapsible or compact wallets that hold only a few cards. So if you're someone who doesn't feel comfortable carrying around a big wallet or doesn't want to put the your Discover card or your own cards on your phone for like Apple Pay and Google Pay. These small, really collapsible wallets are a really good idea because you can still have money, cash clipped to it, but also have your three main cards and not have to worry about a wallet like bulging out of your pants or like sitting uncomfortably on a chair with this big wallet in your back pocket. They're really easy to pick up. $10, anywhere ranging from $10, $15 to even like 50, based off build quality. So they're easy stocking stuffers, and I'll post a couple links to a couple that I think are pretty good.
Can you send me one of those? I'd like to see this.
Yeah, I will send you some. Do you want it right now?
Sure. I'm a big fan of small wallets. I've had a small wallet, the one I've had for a couple of years now, and it's worked really well, but I'm always in the market for making my wallet smaller.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Sometimes they come with like kind of cool little gadgets. Like I'm going to actually send you an article, Josh, that has a whole list of them. But they're like the top one, or one of the first ones that they have, has a beer, like a bottle opener in it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a part of the actual wallet. It's like a strap with a piece of metal, and you can attach your cards and everything to it. But it also is a bottle opener. So,
wow, that is cool.
So you go ahead.
Totally
take a look
not
at these.
something I would use, but very cool.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they vary. Some of them are super expensive. Some of them are super inexpensive. Super minimalistic. Some of them have still feel like a wallet, but are still really low profile. But yeah, they're all over the place, and
I love it.
Different
These are
qualities.
awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
You ever go to the website everydaycarry.com?
What is that? No, what is that?
Oh God, be careful. That is a rabbit hole of geekery.
I'm a huge Fossil fan, so anything that's like leatherish look. Oh crap!
I've spent hours on that website.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I had a friend, Frank, if you're listening, I had a friend point that out to me years and years and years ago, and I go there from time to time just to see new things that are out there. But
I suck at writing, but there's wait, hold on. It's a ballpoint pen. I know somebody that has one of these.
Yeah.
Like that's a ball. Well, that sounded terrible. Not ballpoint pen, but they're like a full metal ballpoint pen, bolt action pen. That's what it is. Sorry. Interesting. Wow, this is a terrible website. Thank you.
Exactly. I think we have time for probably one more round each.
Okay.
And then we can do like the lightning round, I'm thinking.
Okay, we could try that. I don't know how that's going to work because, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I have quite a few left, but probably not as many as you, I'm guessing, it sounds like, just by the way that you're talking.
No, I don't know. I think I have about 8 left.
Okay. I'm in that same neighborhood. So I'm going to have to try and pick one from this list now, and that's going to be very difficult. So I think as this last choice...
You're really dragging this out.
I know, because it's really hard to pick on this list. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and I'm thinking mid-range here. And I'm going to choose, okay. I'm going to choose the Amazon Echo.
Hey!
And I'm going to specifically say, because the Echo, I think it's one.
What generation?
I should probably be prepared for something like this, a podcast where we talk about gifts and actually point out what their prices are.
Yeah.
You'd think that I would have the price ready to go. So the normal Echo, the current Echo, I believe, is $119. That's the second gen, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. I think they have a third gen though.
Do they?
Yes.
No.
They have a new Echo Plus. That's a different. Okay. Anyways,
that's something different though. Anyway. Oh yeah, all new Echo Plus, second generation, $119. Yeah. Normally $149. So again, very high. But I was thinking that you could really look at the third generation Echo Dot as like a good gift, because normally they're $50, but right now they're on sale for $30. And I think that's a really good sweet spot to really get your first lady in a tube situation going and try it out. Some people don't like having one of those in their house, but if you're okay with that, like Amazon by far, in my opinion, is the best of the best.
Yep.
And this is a great way to test out the waters, see what you think. Maybe try your favorite streaming service for music on it and see what you think, if it's hard to set up or all those things. And just really get into it and see what it's like. And,
Right.
you can't go wrong with $30. So I think that's a great choice.
Yeah, and Black Friday they were only $25, so you're only missing out on a $5 deal. So it's not that big of a deal,
Yeah.
but they're great. Just even the dots themselves, you can do so much with them. They still operate in the same aspect of with connectivity functionality wise.
Right.
You can still play music off them and what have you. But yeah, if you want to buy in, that's the lowest you can go price range. That is perfect. They're super awesome. We have one right now. We have both an Echo and an Echo Dot, and
Nice.
we use them all the time. And both my parents and her parents ended up buying them, so they all have the same setup as we do.
Yeah, we have an Echo, and Santa may be bringing us a Dot potentially. We wrote to him and all the things. But the I think I like this idea best because, again, pretty cheap. You get into the ecosystem, not ecosystem, and then you potentially there's no wrong. You can't go wrong with it because if you get the big Echo, the normal one,
Yeah.
after liking this enough, you say, okay, I'll get the big one. They work together in tandem. So I'm sure you know this, but you can set up different rooms with them and tell where to play the music and, talk to her in various rooms. So I think it's a good idea.
I agree.
Relatively cheap.
Not bad. All right, for my last scheduled one, I don't know if it's not scheduled, but one where I get to talk more about. I think, I'm gonna go for it because why not? And people might not like this, but I'm gonna say Nintendo Switch.
Oh man.
Yes, and yes, it is a high price right now. You were saying you saw them for $250.
Nah, that was like Black Friday, and it was a
Okay.
sketchy website, so I don't count
Okay.
that.
So
I think the cheapest I've seen them so far is $275.
right, and that's without a game though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple points first. One, yes, I realize this is like a $300 plus buy-in, but if you are buying this for maybe your children, say you're buying it as like a collective gift to give to them, you can go all in and get a few games for maybe $450 plus controllers. So I know that's high, but if you're buying,
Yeah, my heart skipped a beat with that price.
But if you look at it, yeah, I know. But if you look at it this way, you don't have to buy everything right off the bat. And there are a lot of little indie games or smaller games that are on sale. And surprisingly, they do that a lot. Sometimes, but not on big big items, or I guess blockbuster games. What do you want to call them?
AAA?
AAA games? No, I guess it is AAA games. Whatever.
First party?
First party. Yeah, sure.
Where Nintendo makes them?
Nintendo makes them, or just like commonly known developers like Square making Octopath.
Yeah, I would say those are AAA developers.
Okay, so 250 maybe, but really around the 275 300 plus range. This is a great gift for a family, a group of your kids. It gets you to play some games that are more party oriented. There are other games on here like Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild and what have you that are single player, but still there's a lot of party focused games. Mario Party just came out on this. Smash Brothers just came out on this. There's the Mario Kart. There's a whole bunch of other games on here. Cooking Mama-esque games that force you to do this with a party and have multiple controllers. But it's really fun. It's portable, so you can play it in a console mode attached to a dock, or you can bring it with you wherever you want. They're slowly but surely bringing more and more games onto this platform. It's still only just over a year old, a little bit, almost closer to 2 years now. But as it's going, this thing is selling like hotcakes still, and there's so much more for this to improve on. So much more for this device to do and to have AAA or first party developers make games for this console. So it's already kicking butt. I have one myself, and I know a lot of people during this holiday season have been thinking about getting it, and I want to tell you it's worth it if you don't have any other Nintendo devices, or there are lots of games that you've already been eyeballing that are exclusive. So jump in. It is a little bit of a loophole, or not a loophole, but a rabbit hole when you're buying these things, because you might want to buy lots of games. But I just say pick two, stick with those. There are some bundles, and you can end up picking up another game for like $30. But just pick two, start from two, and I promise you, you'll collect that, or you'll start your collection. It'll come and as it comes, as you start fielding money to this thing. But I love it, and I can't wait for the games that I may or may not be getting for Christmas.
So we've never talked about consoles ever together. Did you know that?
No, it's something about, like, somebody said we talked about it last episode, but I don't recall that.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
I think that the buy-in is really high, and I can't necessarily say that for everybody it's worth that money necessarily, but I think you hit the nail on the head when you said if you don't have any other Nintendo consoles, this is a great great choice. Right. And for me, like, we have the Wii U, and so many of the games that are out we already own on the Wii U, so it's a little bit harder sell. But there are still some amazing games, even though the list is very short, even for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one thing that I kept forgetting when we've talked about doing this for the kids over, the last several months, or even for Christmas, but, we haven't decided anything, is that the one thing that's always tripped me up is that you have to buy all kinds of peripherals if you want to have more controllers. And the controllers, because the Joy-Cons, which are the little guys on the side that come off the sides,
right.
When you buy extra pairs of those, they're like $60.
Yeah, they're expensive.
But I always forget that it comes with two, so those are technically each one controller. Yes. So right off the bat, you buy the Switch, and you technically, not every game is capable of using those alone, but most of them are, and you get two controllers in the box. So that's kind of cool.
It's hard to get used to for a little bit, but honestly, you can manage it, and the kids have little hands, so
yeah. So good choice. That's a good one. It's pretty high up there, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I figured I needed to end my round with a heavier duty one. So,
well, do you want to read off the last few that you have, real quick?
Yeah. Do you want me to go? I'll do the last four I have. If that's fine, so we don't go over too much. Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine. Or you can't have like a 20,000 list. So if you want to do the whole list, just read them off.
Alrighty. Well, I will go then. I will read through the last that I have. No surprise here, but the 6th gen iPad, $250 still right now at Target.
Hey, I had that one on mine.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I said it, so I win. But it's $250. Go ahead. It's still at Target. You can get it for that price. I don't know how long it's going to last, but that's a pretty good steal for what it comes with. The Raspberry Pi, which is, again, these are kind of geared towards techie people. But the Raspberry Pi, I call it the hobbyist PC or hobbyist device. It's like $35. You can get packs that include everything you need to get it going for just under $45 on Amazon. So a quick thing, if you have somebody out there that likes to do some hobbies or wants to make a project out of something really small and inexpensive, that is a perfect gift. I have an RGB strip on Amazon that has its own app you can use to program and control for, I think, $25, which is really cheap. I have two more things. One is a GameCube controller adapter for the Switch. So this is actually an adapter for if you have old GameCube controllers, you can plug this in and it wirelessly transmits to the Switch, and you can use them, which is pretty cool because then it's actually cheaper than getting Joy-Cons. So if you wanted to use these things to play other games like Smash Brothers or Mario Kart, you can actually use them. And then finally, something that I personally want, and that's why I put it on here specifically, is that it's the Saturn V Rocket, but in Legos. So it's a Lego kit.
Oh, that's a cool kit.
And it's like $120. And we actually saw it somewhere cheaper at the Adler Planetarium in Chicago.
Nice.
But it's super cool. It's huge. But really, really awesome, super detailed, and I've heard nothing but good things for it. And I don't know how long they're going to have this out basically out on the shelves, continuously stocking them. So get it while you can. But those are all of mine.
I would say that's no Millennium Falcon, but still very cool.
Yes, I know. That was another one I thought about, but this one's doable.
Yeah. I'll go down my list real quick. Lightning cables. You can never have too many lightning cables.
Garbage.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. They're not too expensive. If you search on Amazon for Anchor, that's a great company to buy lightning cables from, and they're usually not very expensive. You can never have too many. Portable Bluetooth speaker, I will include the link that I found on Amazon. Just like Justin had pointed out with that keyboard, having a Bluetooth speaker is great for your phone or whatever. Yeti tumbler. So there's a Yeti coffee tumbler mug that I have that I absolutely adore. The tab is magnetic, so you can just like take it off and clean right underneath it and then just snap it right back on. It's amazing. It doesn't sound like it would work great. It's so smooth and so good. So we'll include that. I don't think you can go wrong in this climate to go with scarves. It's super cliche, but a scarf for somebody is always a great little gift.
Yeah.
Kind of the same lines, I have a link to a ratcheting screwdriver with various heads inside of the screwdriver handle. I don't think you can go wrong with that. That's another great gift. I also included an 18-piece glass lock set of Tupperware. They're not Tupperware because they're glass, like they're like treated glass, like Pyrex almost. But these guys, like, you snap the lids on and you don't have to like press down. You just like snap the sides on. It's really, really nice. So you can't go wrong with those. Portable battery, backup battery is always good.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Include the link. Pour over coffee maker. That's the one where you put it over like a big carafe, or you put it over your mug. You boil water and you just pour it over. And then socks. You really can't go wrong giving socks. Socks are awesome.
Socks that don't have holes come. Like,
you can't have enough socks.
That's my problem.
You know, you can never go wrong with diamonds for the ladies.
Oh my God, Joshua! Really?
Just to get it in there. So that's my list.
So many words, so many plays off words. I'm just gonna leave it. Well, I think you had some great ones. I think
you too.
I hope that we played to. I know we didn't do a perfect job of playing to all sorts of different likings,
we didn't.
But that's okay because that's fine. We gave you ideas. So
I really thought we were going to have more crossover than we did, and really, there was only one item that we crossed over on.
It's impressive. I think that just worked out, and no, we did not plan that. So
no.
All right,
the one item.
The one single item that we both have. Let's jump into Rant because we're getting long here. Internet dumpster fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna riff off of yours. I liked yours, so I'm gonna riff off of it.
Okay, so then I guess I'll go. So, I never realized, and this rant happened just within the last couple of weeks, actually, but exploded within the last couple of days. There's these things called dynamically inserted ads, or DAI, which, by the way, that acronym doesn't work. Don't know why they have it that way, but regardless, and what they are is that they're local ads that are added into your service of some sort. So if you're listening, for example, to like Spotify, a podcast player, online, looking at a article on a news site, some sites and applications have these ads that will localize, and it's really creepy especially because when you're listening to something on maybe your local or on your podcast app that you like to use, or you're maybe looking at some videos online on your on a major news article or a news station, and you get ads for your local campaign, and you go, that's odd. I don't want to hear about my local campaign in the district of blank, blank, blank. And you continue to get these ads that start to localize even further and make you feel, or at least make me feel, super uncomfortable because it feels like an invasion of my privacy. It's almost like Google or somebody's listening into my words or watching my location services, and it makes me really uncomfortable. Which they are. So I have a rant just basically saying that I don't feel like it's a proper. I don't feel like it's a proper business practice, but unfortunately, it is. No one says it isn't, in the sense that there's no legality or legal issues behind this, as far as I'm concerned. But it still makes me feel uncomfortable and will push me away from using something that has these. So there's a lot of podcasts out there that use these in their ads or even in their the apps that are streaming these things. Luckily, Overcast tries to do a good job of it, and I guess he has no control. The developer, unfortunately, doesn't have full control over that. So it's just a little unnerving, and I really don't want to hear about local mom and pop shops near me when I'm listening to a podcast. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. So of course, it's not going away anytime soon because it works
and generates a lot of revenue.
It generates a ton of money for them. Specifically, the dynamically inserted ads refers to what you're just talking about with the specialized closed door podcast networks that you have to apply to put your podcast onto, and then you put the correct amount of time for ads to be inserted into your recording, and then those get generated based on local information from the user. So the user then, like you're saying, gets locally generated ads that are, quote, relevant, end quote, to them. For podcasting, I think it's a step backwards because the reason podcasting is so cool, not that I'm biased at all, but is that it's decentralized, meaning that nobody hosts any of the podcasts except for the people who make them. And you are actually going and downloading the podcasts directly from the people who make them. So there's no controlling, kind of like email, there's no controlling party or interest group that is controlling, how, what, where, when, why. Not that, I'm not trying to make it a conspiracy theory, but the idea is that something like the dynamically inserted ads can't happen with a decentralized, media like that. So they're kind of changing that by having these ads in these closed networks of podcasts, and I hope that's not the trend because not good. So
not cool.
My rant kind of falls into that because I saw yours and it made me think of this, and I am so sick and tired of the general internet, and let me be specific because you can say that about so many things these days. With the advent of all the social media that's out there, good or bad, people are going to websites directly less, I would say, usually, forcing them to, this is my own theory, I don't know if this is true, I think it's forcing them to put even more ads and banners all over websites. And if you're just generally surfing websites or Googling sites and going to sites to read things, it is a dumpster fire out there. Like every single site has like flash-based ads all over the place, pop-ups, just things that scroll down over time that you got to click through. Or my personal most favorite, if you can hear the sarcasm in my voice, where you have some kind of, quote, list of things and the front page is just the introduction. You got to click next like 5 billion times to get to the actual, meat of the article. It's such terrible website design and business practice, and it's almost unreadable. In fact, in most cases, I'm not even going to read this. I can't even. It's totally not worth this amount of grunge to try and get to the content that I kind of sort of am interested in. The only thing that's made the internet palpable for me are things like Instapaper, where you can, you send it the link and then it strips everything off the website and just gives you the text. Or, Apple's own reader mode in Safari, where you can, click and it does something similar. It strips everything but the text off of the web page, and then you're just reading the text. And
Right.
it's sad that you have to use tools in order to get to the content that you're looking to read. So
Yes.
I can't stand this, and it's terrible. And it's it's the expression of the Blade Runner idea, where you're walking down the street and everything's just in your face from commercials and ads and things. And it's like the website version of that. I can't stand it.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and close this out?
Yeah, let's close it up.
Let's close. Thank you guys for listening to our 28th episode. You can follow the show on Twitter at DigitalDividePC, or send us feedback by sending an email to askdigitaldivide@gmail.com. You can find all this wonderful information in our previous episodes on our website at www.digitaldividepodcast.com. Additionally, if you want to follow our personal accounts, I am on Twitter at JustinFry121. Josh, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JCharletto. That's my first initial last name, spelled JCIARLETTO. Or you can email me at josh@charletto.com.
And if you liked this episode or any of our other episodes, give us a review on iTunes or anywhere you are listening to this podcast. And until next time, take care.
Bye.